With your CIGTV News update, I'm Donna Bush. Thank you for joining us. In a matter of days, the Truman-Bodden complex will be filled with over 500 athletes and hundreds more supporters and coaches for Carifta 2019. Excitement is building as the names of the 54 Cayman Islands athletes were named on Wednesday evening. President of the Athletic Association and co-chair of the Carifta Games, Lance Barnes, had this to say about the team selection.
They have been consistent. And there was some delay, yes, in terms of the track. So we took everything into consideration. And despite the delay, they have been training consistently. They were quite hard. And we thought it would be best for them to include them because we're at home. We're in home soil. You know, some of them, this is one opportunity for them to really shine. And we're quite confident that the team we have named, they will do well, and it's also the process of developing them as well. You know, gaining this experience will definitely help them next year and other years to come.
Well, it's been 9 years since the last Carifta Games were held here in the Cayman Islands. As the Ministry of Sports Chief Officer and Carifta co-chair Joel Francis explains what role the ministry has played in bringing the games to these islands.
She is very, very committed, especially to the sport of track and field, and pleased to have been able to offer support for the development of this team in the form of the coaches provided through the Department of Sports and the Director Colin Anglin, and to have been able to assist the local organizing committee with funding to be able to host these games. She considers it a responsibility of the Cayman Islands as an associate member of CARICOM for us to host in this manner, and also to have been able to provide for the athletes a top quality track and other amenities here at the Truman-Bodden Sports Complex to give them the opportunity to do their best come next weekend. And so again, congratulations on behalf of the Minister, and we look forward to your best performances next week. Well, organizing games of this magnitude is obviously a massive undertaking. I believe that in the LOC we have a quality team with Co-Chair Barnes and the other members, and they've been doing a phenomenal job so far. There are a number of things still to be taken care of, but I believe we are ahead of most countries. We've had inspections from the regional governing body who have given us clean bills of health in the inspection visits so far. So we are confident that we are moving along nicely with 10 days to go. We will be ready for the games. We will be ready to welcome all our brothers and sisters from across the Caribbean. So when games are in the Western Caribbean, the numbers have been a little small traditionally, but it seems as if everybody will be coming to the Cayman Islands. So we're expecting a bumper crop of athletes. I believe with the Cayman team today, it's going to put us somewhere in the region of about 517, which is more than the Bahamas had last year. A number of charters from across the Caribbean. I think Trinidad had 2, the Bahamas had 2, Jamaica will have 2. Cayman Airways is running one out of Barbados via Antigua to bring athletes and supporters up. So we're really looking forward to what is going to be a festival of track come next weekend.
Another major sponsor of the 2019 Carifta Games is CUC. The company's CEO, Mr. Richard Hugh, was at the team announcement where he talked about the CUC support.
We are delighted at CUC to be a partner with the Athletic Association in sponsoring Carifta. We are delighted that the Cayman Islands are the hosts of this year Carifta's Games. I understand that we have a large contingent, and that may have something to do with being able to host here, so that we're able to get as maximum participation as possible. CUC has been supporting athletics since 1979, so I think this is our 40th year, and we are very, very happy with the results that we've seen. It's not just about winning medals, but it's about building character and developing youth into very productive members of our Caymanian society.
Well, the 2019 Games will take place next weekend from April 20th to the 22nd. It's all happening at the Truman-Bodden Sports Complex. Finally, this evening, we hear more about ecosystem services from the Department of Environment's Lauren Dombrowski, who explains more.
One of our most important ecosystems is the mastic forest, which is an area of dry forest. And this is one of our first habitats. It's one of our primary habitats in Cayman, and it existed long before nearly anything else in Cayman. And the mastic forest itself provides ecosystem services such as carbon storage, and it provides flood protection, and has a really high degree of biodiversity. So there are lots of endemic plants and animals that live there. And it also provides forest trails. So walking through the mastic trail is one of the few things that you can do in Cayman in the shade. And some of the forest trails there have been really important to our heritage. The best thing that the rest of us can do is take a moment to appreciate all the benefits the environment gives you. Take a second to look at the trees and breathe in the air and really appreciate that these things come from nature and that they're not infinite. So when your politicians and when decision makers are making decisions about the environment, you will have a better appreciation of how they might be affected by those decisions.
And you can watch the entire interview with Lauren here on CIGTV next Wednesday, the 17th of April, following For the Record at 8 p.m. And that ends today's news update here on CIG Television. I'm Donna Bush, as always, thanking you for joining us, wishing you a wonderful and, of course, a very safe night, and hoping you'll join me back here again tomorrow. Until then, bye-bye for now.
Boating, fishing, and water sports in the Cayman Islands are great, but keep a cool head. Here are 7 tips for fun and safe sea outings. Number 1. Use a checklist to plan your outing. Check the weather forecast, make a float plan, and share it with someone who is remaining on land, stating where you're going, with whom, and when you're expected to return. Visit your nearest marine supply store to get your safety gear. This includes signaling mirrors, whistles, and a flare kit. It's also very important to have onboard flotation devices and life vests for each person. There are different types of vests. Some are for water sport activities such as snorkeling, and others are for going on offshore boating or on fishing trips. Number 2. These items can be lifesavers in case of an accident or bad weather. Number 3. Use a motor kill switch, especially if you're boating alone. In case of a leak or breakdown, always stay with the boat until help arrives. If you capsize, an emergency beacon or locator device can send a distress signal to inform the authorities of your location. Larger flares will indicate distress to a boat, airplane, or search and rescue officials. Number 4. In addition to sunscreen, food, and beverages, it would be smart to have a cell phone. Make sure your marine radio works. Cayman's boaters use Channel 16 to communicate. Number 5. Also, don't forget your anchor and sufficient rope. Number 6. Boat operators should be familiar with the local waters and reefs, as well as the capabilities and functions of the vessels they are using. Always obey the rules of the sea and the marine environment, and have courtesy for others. Number 7. Alcohol and salt water do not mix, especially if you're the captain. Some useful contact numbers are 911. The RCIPS Marine Base is 649-7710, and the Port Authority is 949-2055. Smooth sailing, all!